two things, though. One, in 2004, the International Court of Justice has addressed this very issue. And what they said is Israel has no right to articulate a right of self-defense under Article 51 because a occupier can never claim self-defense against the occupied. Right. Even in the case where there's necessity, they cite the necessity. You can't cite necessity to protect yourself from a threat that comes from within the scene of the crime. And occupied Palestine is a scene of a crime. Israel is an open violation of numerous international laws. So Israel can't cite international law to defend itself from its violations, ongoing violations of international law, even if it's in regard to this. So Israel can sit here and say, oh, there's a terrorist there, a terrorist there. It doesn't matter. Israel is the criminal enterprise. Israel is the nation that's violating international law. And it doesn't excuse, and again, I wanted to make this point. If you
who are they to say leave? I mean, you could flip the script and say, hey, Hamas told you to leave. You didn't. So they can just kill your civilians?
But again, let's just talk about the civilians that are dying here, because what Hamas did on October 7th was not a terrorist action. It was a well-coordinated, professionally executed military operation with clearly defined military purposes, and they've lured Israel into the ambush that they've been setting. The fighting that's going on in Gaza right now is going in accordance to the Hamas plan, not the Israeli plan. But the thing is, when Hamas took down the wall and came in, their initial story, look at these guys. These are the highly trained guys wearing uniforms. They have boots. They have uniforms, they have identifying marks, etc. They don't go around haphazardly killing people. They went in with specific targets in mind. If they took out a location, it's because they received resistance. These are the guys that when they
they knew exactly where to go and how much time was on the clock.
But behind them came another wave of armed people. Some of these were because Gaza, it's not just Hamas in Gaza. There's also the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. They're also well disciplined, organized, a little bit more crazy, but they're there. But then you have a whole bunch of offshoots. You have the territory. It's like gangs. You have these gangs of people from the neighborhood. I come from the corner of 5th and 3. We're the 5th and 3rd Lions of Israel. Hey, the Lions of Israel. No training, just guys with.
Israel has the same thing with the gangs among settlers.
Yeah, and so these guys looked at the hole in the wall, and they came in. These are the people who did looting. These are the people who did murder, because they did come in and they killed innocent Israeli civilians. I say innocent. They killed Israeli civilians. You ain't innocent if you live in a kibbutz. I'm just telling you right now, you're not innocent.
Look, if you break into someone's house, they can shoot you dead just for coming into someone's house to steal something. Now, imagine stealing the entire house. Under our law, you can kill that person. I mean, they're all thieves.
I'm not defending what happened with these. I'm trying to say that Hamas did not do half the crap that they've been accused of doing. First of all, a lot of those people who died in that outdoor rave,
the music festival,
is a crossfire between Hamas and Israeli forces. There was a lot more resistance going on. The vast majority of the people that were there were either active duty soldiers on leave, or they were recently released from the military. But these are military age people out there. Many of them had guns. There was a lot of shooting going on, a lot of crossfire going on, a lot of confusion going on. And again, we need to be careful about the stories that people say about Hamas throwing grenades. Did they? Maybe. Probably. But also keep in mind that the Israeli Defense Force came in and started throwing grenades and started shooting places up with tanks. A lot of indiscriminate fire going on. These, again, are conscript soldiers who were put together, and there was a handful of elite units that responded, as a unit. Shaldag came in, the Sayat Matkal came in, other groups, and they took heavy casualties, by the way, but they were responding, but they were responding haphazard. There was no plan. Israel didn't have a plan. People are just running to the sound of gunfire, shooting anything that moves. Hamas was coming
Panic.
down